Go.
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago, and across the globe. Welcome to Real Talk Corner. Hadassah, how are you?
Hi, I am fine, thank you. How are you, Esther?
Well, good evening, Trinidad and Tobago, and those of you around the globe. This is Real Talk Corner, and I'm your host, Dr. Esther Cruickshank. Yes, this is Real Talk Corner, where conversation sparks change and every voice matters. So, we are here on this beautiful Thursday evening. It's the 24th day in the month of July, and of course in the year 2025. And I'm happy to be alive, to be breathing the breath of God in my lungs. And I trust that you are happy to be alive as well. We may be living in challenging times, but it is a good time to make change. It's a good time to let your voice be heard. It's a good time to be happy. It's a good time to share the love. It's a good time to be gracious to one another. So it's a good time to put a smile on your face as well. Despite all that is happening, we are thankful here at Real Talk Corner. I want to thank my producer, and I want to tell him how much we appreciate his hard work in getting this show going and having it, second to none. Yeah? So, people, welcome again. Take this time to share the live and to let someone know that Real Talk is on, and we are going to be discussing two very important topics tonight. One, I want to deal with the prison situation where the big screen TVs and the guns and the phones. I mean, it's not new. It really isn't new. I've heard of these things. There are evidence of it. I think some time ago I talked about my nephew being there and calling me and the different situation that has been going on. I guess it has just escalated to a more prestige situation because now you have big screen TVs. All right, and we also want to talk about the licensing of vehicles, based on district and so on. I don't know if that is going to be something that can happen. But tonight also we're going to have our call-in segment. We're back to our call-in segment. Yes, and the number to call is 782-6145. You're going to see it on the screen. And if you want to WhatsApp, the same number, 782-6145. Those of you across the globe that would like to WhatsApp, 1-868-782-6145. It's good to be here. It's good to be alive. And of course, my co-host will not be with us tonight, but I am thankful even for her. So I'm shouting her out. Hadassah, hope that you are able to, get yourself together and take a little rest. I know how the day normally is very long for you, but we are grateful. So I hope you take a little peek now and again. Hadassah, have a wonderful evening as you do what you're doing. Okay? So let's jump right into it. Again, the number to call is 782-6145 when we say that it is the time to call. So let's have a little conversation. First, I want to talk about the prison situation. Minister Surge last night in one of the pre-budget consultation at the Caroni Central constituency spoke about some things that was happening in the prison. And my mind always run kind of wild when we are dealing with corruption, dealing with high profile crime. Who are really the people that is responsible? Now, the people who are in jail and all those people who are locked up, and if it is one of my family members and I have to go to look for them, I am screened, I am, searched, I can't even go with a telephone. But here you are hearing about these gadgets that is in the prison service. And then you hear that when you say that it is the prison officers, there are rogue prison officers just as there are rogue police officers. And in every facet of life, they're a rogue individual. People who have no respect for law and order, people who don't care about others. You have it in family life. People are selfish. They take advantage of you. They take advantage of your goodness, your kindness. You have these kind of rogue element in citizens all across the globe. But let's get something straight. If it is we want to fight crime, we cannot just go to the small man. Yes, they are the ones who are bold enough, they're being paid or they're being influenced, they're pulling the trigger, they are the ones who conducting the criminal activity. But there is higher powers, there are higher people who are bringing in the guns and who are bringing in the drugs, who are allowing the phones to pass into the prison. And then you hear that some of the prison officers are afraid for their lives. And I can understand that, because if there are three of us, right, and I am a rogue prison officer, one who taking bribe and doing whatever, and my colleague here doesn't want to do it, then I may threaten him, or I may tell the persons who are giving me, which I have accepted the task to bring in these gadgets and whatever, that X doesn't want to cooperate, then X life is going to be at risk, and we understand that. So it means that there need to be a level of cleanup. I don't know how they are going to figure out who are the good ones and who are the bad, rotten ones, but the Minister of National Security, or what we would call Homeland Security, and others, they have to come together and figure out what they have to do. And I believe that they are working on that. But when you announce it as though, there is guns in the prison, we all are aware of that. We know of that. For years now, we have been hearing about the phone and the cigarettes and different things, the weed that goes into the prison, right? And it can't be no normal person doing it. It's not a normal citizen, right? So you all need to just do what you have to do. I know people are going to talk about, they're killing innocent people. Listen, once you are involved and once you are in the place to get killed, it means you're involved in some kind of nonsense. I have no sympathy anymore for human beings who want to be involved in criminal activities, who want to enjoy the goodness of blinging without working hard, who just want to kill people and want to distress people and have all these niceties and think that they would live forever to enjoy it. No, I am supporting kill them, because they are a nuisance to society. It could be my brother, it could be my uncle, it could be my son. Once I can't control my home, I cannot control my children, then somebody else will control you. And if it means that death have to take you, so be it. We have to come to that place where we understand that the time has come for these rogue elements to get out of the police service, to get out from the prison, from the army, from any military department that there is. And for parents who didn't know how to take control of their children, bring them up in the right way, and you lose them, suffer it to be so. Ask God to have mercy on you, because you didn't do a good job. You didn't do a good job. And if some of you would have done a good job, and your children still decided to be influenced by the wrong, by the wicked and the evil, and they lose their life, what do? Don't fling your hands up in the air. Say, God, I thank you, because you don't know how much distress they would have brought to other families, how much distress they would have brought to other persons. It's not fair. You work hard to get what you have to get, to achieve what you want to achieve, and then somebody who just want to come and take that away from you, or take your life, snap your life away from being on the earth, existing to do what you have to do. And then we want to talk about the police this and the government this. No, our Prime Minister gave a commitment to solve the crime situation in Trinidad and Tobago. And she said that she is going to do whatever it takes to make it happen. So if it means killing 1,000 of you to make it happen, so be it. Okay? As long as you are involved in criminal activity, whether it is white crime, black crime, yellow, blue, green, whatever crime you are involved, it's either you cease now or lose your life. Because with the SOE, all who talking about the SOE, they're going to have an extension. You all had to live with it. It's better we stay calm and work along with the authorities to make this thing happen and make it happen quick. Those of you prison officers and police officers who are involved in the criminal activity, you too have to look out, because they know who you are. Don't think they don't know. The guys on the block know you all. And if they decide to scream on you or whatever, you all get in it too. I hope to God that you all will think twice about the wrong you're doing. We want a safe country. The Bible said, to whom much is given, much is required. If you are a police officer, much is required of you. How could you get yourself entangled in criminal activity? How could you and expect to live, man? I say is to get rid of all of you, because you have no good intention. You are a police officer and you are encouraging the crime. Then why you are there? And then put you on suspension when they find out, and then you're still collecting part pay and all. No, get rid of you all. Get rid of all of you. That is my opinion. Okay? Is that we get rid of all the rugged police officers, prison officers. You all can be threatening people who want to do the job right. If you are a police officer, why must you threaten another police officer to stay quiet and to encourage you with your criminal self to do what is wrong? That is not fair and it is not right. So I hope to God that they find all of you all, right? Somebody was saying to me about the young man who they caught that killed the young lady and cut up her parts and put it in a suitcase. For me, he wasn't going to be coming before no court, to answer nothing. As long as there's evidence, you see him toting the suitcase, everybody say what they had to say. Man, I was putting you in the square, and start from your toe, go right up. You was getting battered until your last breath leave you. And you might say, but she supposed to be a believer in Christ. Well, listen, even God in the Old Testament time, he told Moses, he said, move, let me kill all of them because they're just ridiculous. Even God. So who is us today? We accepting these foolishness, and everybody have rights, and the attorneys just come and want to defend the criminal activity. Come on, man. It's too long this nonsense goes on. If you live by the gun, you shall die by the gun. In the old time days, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. I make no apologies for that. So parents, those of you who have young children, start taking control of your children, control of what they do, where they go. They are under your care. Your responsibility is to keep them safe. Your responsibility is to teach them good manners, help them to grow up with integrity, help them to grow up understanding that if that is not yours, leave it alone. If it is not yours, leave it alone, or else you're going to pay the consequence. And until we can do that as parents and bring up upstanding citizens in our society, we will always have the situation that we are in right now with crime, because these are the same children who apply to become police officers and prison officers and on and on and on. Because they're not done, some of them very intelligent. So they will get a job. They go into other people's business and they thief, they rob, they do all kind of scrupulous things. They are criminal-minded people, and those people must not be living amongst citizens who are sensitive, citizens who are sensitive to other people's needs, who are upright in standings, who doing what is right. They shouldn't be around us, because they're going to corrupt others, and then they can cause you to lose your life. So this is my take on it, Those who vex about it, you lost, because I make no apologies. If you want to live by the gun, know that at some point you're going to die by the gun. You're going to get it. And for those parents who like to pelt their hands up in the air and say, he was a good child, a good boy, a good girl. If they were good, they would not have been in the position they are in. Now, there are some people who lose their life innocently. We are aware of that as well. Okay? We are aware that there are some people who just happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, as they say, and a stray bullet come and hit you and you lose your life, God have mercy on us. But for those of you who are involved in criminal activities, your number go call. Your number go call. Yeah? So start thinking about what you're doing. You have seen who have gone on before you. Those who lost their life because they were involved in the same criminal activity like you. So can't you not decide now to get yourself away from that? Get yourself out of it. Go to some decent place, some decent person in society. Go and talk to them and tell them what is happening. I mean, spill it out. Tell them who is in control and who is in charge, and you want to get out, but you're afraid for your life. Okay? Do that and ask God for mercy. Ask Him to forgive you. Because in the first place, you shouldn't get yourself involved. But I understand, as young people, sometimes you make a lot of errors. You do things that you shouldn't do. You regret it. But if you continue in it, know that you're going to lose your life. And sometimes you try to get out, and you lose your life too. But as long as you try and you repent and you decide that you want to do right, and they come and they kill you for righteousness' sake, know that you're in a better place. You will be in a better place, okay? So I want to say to the authorities, please, not just those people in the jail and those little young children who are being influenced because of poverty and because of many different things that cause them to be involved. Look at the white crime. Look at the what do you call them? The big dogs? Yeah, the big dogs. Look at them. We want to see some action taking place with white crime. For too long we only talk. But I can't bring in no gun in this country, even though I have a little bit of money. I can't bring in no drugs in this country. I can't. And those fellas who have gun holding and don't even know the value of a gun, they don't understand it. They can't bring it in either. All right? They are influenced by the wrong people for whatever the reason is. And we need to do some intervention from the Ministry of the People, Ministry of Community Development, and all these ministries that can come together and try to do something to empower these young people who are suffering, don't live in a good home, family home is broken up, don't have food to eat on a daily basis. We have to do something there as well, not just go to shoot down the little black boys or, the little poor children who are involved. It must be a holistic thing. We have to do better. As a government, this new government, we cannot continue to do what we have been doing in the past. We have to change that. We have to empower our young people. We have to ensure that they are properly fed, they are properly clothed, they are properly inspired and motivated. A lot of our young people are not inspired to do right. They are not motivated. All they know is poverty, and all they know is to do wrong. All they know is to be in crime, because that's the environment they grew up in. An environment where they saw their father and their uncles and their neighbors involved in criminal activity. And it looked well because they bling him with all the thick gold chain. They drive in nice car. But they need to also understand that that doesn't last forever. Because they would have seen that they get shoot down and what? They bury them with the big gold chain sometimes. And all the money couldn't save them. So government has a responsibility. And those of us good citizens have a responsibility to talk to them when you can. When you meet them. I talk to young men, and the most I can do is talk to them and encourage them. Try to help them if you can. Because some of them really don't want a life of crime, They don't want it, but they feel as though they don't have a choice because they're hungry. They need to eat, and they're fed up eating bread and butter. In our days, we eat it and green fig boiled just so with salt, and we were good. But the children of today is different because for whatever reason, their parents are not able to provide for them. So we need to do better. We have to put things in place, programs in place to empower our young people. And not just programs. We have to help them get educated. Some of them can't read and write. All of this is a problem. Education is the key, and we hear it all the time from time to time. But sometimes I feel like we don't have the willpower to really bring our young people who are not properly educated and help them, and then after that get jobs for them or help them to have their own business. And that is a whole nother story, because when they go to the bank is a game. They had something called Netco. I don't know if it's still there. It's a whole nother game. Okay? So we have to make life a little easier for these young people who are turning to the life of crime because they feel it's the only solution to them. And when they turn to the life of crime, then their life are cut short, because criminality, this is what you get. You lose your life. And I want to say as well, crime is everybody's business. Don't say, my children is not there, my children went to university, my children abroad. Crime is everybody's business. You do not know when it's going to come to your doorstep. All right? So let us do different. Let us do different for our young citizens, or else we will not have a next generation. I think it's singing Sandra say there's a missing generation because of crime. All right, so let's take a break, and I'm going to be right back with you as we go on to our other topic.
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago, and across the globe. Welcome to Real Talk Corner. Hadassah, how are you?
Hi. I am fine, thank you. How are you, Esther?
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago, and across the globe. Welcome to Real Talk Corner. Hadassah, how are you?
Hi. I am fine, thank you. How are you, Esther?
Okay, welcome back, people. And before I go on to my next topic, I think I want to give you all the opportunity to call or message, WhatsApp, and share your part, share your thoughts, what you think. 782-6145 is the number to call, or to WhatsApp. And let's talk a little bit about parenting and what is happening in the prisons. What are your thoughts? What contribution do you want to make with respect to this? So the number to call, 782-6145, or you can WhatsApp 782-6145. Okay, so yes, we need to do different. Parenting is a serious business as well. We need to understand. We have a lot of young people who are parents and don't even understand how to parent their children. They don't have that value in them, that moral value, no principle taught by their parents as well. So when you have a 14-year and a 15-year-old being pregnant and bringing a child into this world, I mean, sometimes you just wonder what next. But it's difficult if they are in that position, because clearly if you were properly brought up, if you were in a good environment with good support, you wouldn't be in a position to get pregnant at the age of 15, 14, and even 13, something I experienced recently, right? 13-year-old, 14-year-old, come on, you're supposed to be in school studying and planning for your future. Here it is, you are pregnant and don't even know sometimes whether the man is going to take any responsibility in helping or assisting you in becoming a mother, and he being a father. It is really, really ridiculous. So the number to call, 782-6145, and of course you can WhatsApp. I just heard let me see if a WhatsApp was sent, but no. So you need to call 782-6145 if you have any comments, or you want to add to what I shared, or you just want to say something to Real Talk Corner viewers, yes, you have the opportunity right now to do that, because I want to move on to our next topic, and it had to do with the licensing, how we license our vehicle in different districts. I just would like to throw something out and hear what you think about it. Yeah? So, well, while we wait on someone to call, to comment, tonight our show is just going to be for 1 hour as well. As a matter of fact, we want to just do 1 hour, maybe a little over, but the time to call is now 7826145. All right. So yes, we want to discuss, like I was talking with my producer earlier on, and I say, in an effort to curb crime, I thought about what happens in America. America is a very big place. Of course, one region or one country, like let's say Georgia, Trinidad could fit in Georgia probably about 7 times. So you understand, when we talk about a big nation or a big country, Trinidad is a small nation. But for whatever reason, you have criminal-minded persons leaving Mayaru and coming to Shogunas to commit their crime. And I feel as though if we were to have a system, I know it's going to take a lot. It's not going to happen overnight, because it has to do with a lot of revamping. It has to do with a lot of the district being redo, so that you would understand where these vehicles are coming from. So if you are coming from St. George to come into Caroni, those license plates is going to have a different code or number on it, right? So St. George is going to have something else. So when you come into Caroni and you commit a crime, persons will know that this is a vehicle that came from St. George. Or you leave Caroni and you go on to Port of Spain and environs, people would know that this is a Caroni District Central vehicle that came in to commit their crime. Now, call and say what you think about it. But I think we have a lot of other options, but I was just thinking that maybe that could be one of it that will help us to be able to track easy, beside in having the cameras and all of that, to track easy a vehicle that was used to commit crime. It probably makes sense, it probably doesn't make sense, but you can call in and let us know what are your views and thoughts on something such as that. So while we wait on you, if you're going to call tonight, we want to take this opportunity. I think tomorrow, please God, is the opening of the Emancipation Village in Port of Spain, and it's a time for us as African individuals to reflect, to think about what we are doing, not to complain, and not to, try to bring down the other communities, but to really seek out ourselves and figure out what we can do as the African community to make ourselves better, to make ourselves uplifted, doing things better, renewing our mind and how we look at things, how we perceive things, how we do things, how we support each other. Think about what you should do as an individual, and then collectively, maybe come together, not wanting to scull anybody or scheme anybody, but really to work together so that we can achieve the goal of unity and a goal of more prosperity. Because really and truly, we all are in a mess. We're in a mess. We pull down one another. We bad talk one another. We disrespect one another. Our family life has gone to the dogs. Nobody cares about each other. We run from Dick, Tom, and Harry to Shirley, Susan, and Cindy. That's how we are living. Nobody wants to be faithful anymore. Nobody wants to have conversations anymore in the family. As you get vexed, you get up and you go with our next woman, go with our next man, as the case may be, hurting one another's feeling. Some of us, we just take people for granted. So let us, let us try as we celebrate um, African month, well, African week, heading up to Emancipation. It's not just about all the clothes and the food. That is not it. It's renewing our mind, having a different heart towards each other, understanding our culture, because really and truly, we didn't come with a culture. They gave us what they wanted to give us. But thank God for social media and Google and all these things. You can now go up online and see and understand your culture. We still don't know, like the other communities, which area we came from, right? In our African country. We still don't know that. Some of us, most of us don't know. But we can start, doing some research based on your name. Do some research and try to figure out the different tribes and which tribe you may have come from. I think there is a general consensus on the fact that there is a particular tribe or two that came to the Caribbean. So we can look at that, look at their concept. I know it is very powerful. The drumming, you have it in the African community, you have it in the Indian community, and I love all. Yes, I love all. But more than the dance and the clothes and the food is our mindset. Our mindset has been derailed, and we need to find ourselves again. We really need to find ourselves and do not reject where we came from and do not reject who we are. And of course, understanding that you were created by God with a purpose, to be powerful, to be purposeful, to live with a purpose and not just there in space or in the air. We have great talents, great abilities like anybody else. So let us stop complaining and let us start to find ourselves, dig deep within, do some soul searching and find yourself, understand who you are, what is your purpose for living, and stop degrading yourself and trying to mimic others and be like others. You are wonderfully made by God, beautifully and wonderfully made by God, all of us. So don't try to imitate anybody else. Be who God has created you to be and excel in your purpose. All right, let us look at those things, not just the food and the dance and the lime and all of that. Let us try to find out who you are. And since no one has called in as yet, we will just continue to share. Producer, what do you think I should be doing at this point in time? Because I really was hoping that that people would call in and they would get involved in the conversation. But nevertheless, I just want to encourage our viewers and our citizens, as like I said, as we go in to celebrate emancipation. Are you emancipated really and truly? Are we really emancipated as a people, especially for the African community? Are we emancipated? In what area are we emancipated? Just to say we're free from slavery? A lot of us still not free. We still under the hands of the massa. Yeah, we still under the hands of them. We still stoop to them. We still have not been able to be ourselves and to be our real true self. We still mimic others, and we have not understood how powerful our culture is because we don't know our culture. Some of us don't even know as much as our grandparents. Some do. Some don't know our great-grandparents. And the other communities that are here, most of them, they are aware. They know who are their great-grandparents, the nene, the nanny. They know what we know. What we know. So we need to find it. We need to find out who we are. And of course, most importantly, who we are in God. He created us with a purpose. So don't feel lost. You don't understand your culture. You don't know your culture. Don't feel lost for a moment. Just know that there's a God above who created us and He gave us purpose. So let us try to live in that. Let us not feel as though we are nobody. We are somebody. We were made in the image and likeness of God Almighty. And we are here for a reason. Okay? So don't have no low self-esteem and all those nonsense. What is that anyhow? You get to know yourself. First, get to know who you are. Get to know what you like, what you dislike. That is important. Some of us, we don't like certain things, but we like it for others, to please others. We don't need to do all of that. If you don't like something, hell, you don't like it, that's it. It doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. Get to know who you are, what you like, what you doesn't like. Get to know what motivates you, what gives you that enthusiastic will to go forward, and to what you like, what if you like working with your hands, if you like driving. I used to tell people as a young, I love to drive. Up to now, if I feeling tired, I don't like to do nothing, just put me in my vehicle and let me drive. Go down in the country. I love to drive. So sometimes if that is your calling, you might be a good, what is called them, a tour guide person. You know, you're taking up people when they come, you know your country, and you're driving and you're showing people. And that has money in it as well. So get to know you, get to know what you like, get to know what makes you feel alive. And do it. Start little and grow. Sometimes, you know, when you tell people about their purpose and whatever, they want to do it in a big fancy way. Oh gosh, they want $1 million first. You could start it with $10 and grow. You don't have to have a whole $20,000. Start it little. Start it from your home. Advertise. Now we have media, social media. Somebody would call you. Make sure you put it out there. Put yourself out there. And of course, in doing that, you still have to be careful, because you have these criminal-minded persons who might call you and then they lock your neck and take your vehicle. So you have to be wise in everything that you do. You have to use wisdom and knowledge, but don't be afraid to step out. Yeah, don't be afraid to get out there and do what works for you. So tonight, I just want to encourage you all.
When we talk emancipation as well, and emancipating yourself from mental slavery, that's a serious thing.
Yes.
Because what the PNM trying to do is enslave the poor black people. I remember is Keith Christopher Rowley that tell the whole nation they had to wean off the government.
Oh,
so
yeah.
when Kamala come in and wean CPAP off the government to telling us it's a black
It's
people
a black
thing.
people thing. You understand?
She attacking black people.
So you see, and this is exactly what it is, because one government who's supposed to represent the African people is telling you wean off. It's like a breastfeeding you. It's time to come off. All right? And now you have this government who is trying to wean us off and put things in a better perspective. Everybody vexed. Kamala want to suffer the people. Kamala want the people to eat grass. But they were eating grass before, even with the CPAP and whatever.
It was eating the soil.
They were eating the soil. The grass was finished and they went down to the soil. I mean, I tell myself I wasn't going to talk too much politics, but you know, at the end of the day, that is what is over our country right now. And the highlights is on, especially, they're making this a big thing with CPAP, as though this government, through our Prime Minister, is starving the people who depended on the CPAP. But it was so corrupted. $1.4 billion. You're hearing about it all the time. It was so corrupted, and I am seeing on social media people making it a big deal, as though this government is so wicked and so evil. And what they're not saying is that in the effort to make it better, to have it functioning where everybody would benefit, not just short term but long term, they're still being paid. They are supposed to be paid for the month of July. Nobody talking those talk. Everybody just want our government now to look as though our Prime Minister and her government is so wicked. We wicked. You're taking food from the children's mouth. School opening just now, right? But they're applying for book grants. The amount of every constituency, the amount of book grants applications, and they're going to get through. It takes a little time to reset this country, because this country under the PNM has gone to nothing. Who don't like that? That is the truth. That is the truth.
That I asked the PNM for that $1.4 billion, who benefited? In fact, I asked Faris, who benefited from that 1.4
Or
billion?
you don't think you're wasting your time asking them anything? Because, hello, they're set in their ways. They don't care, you know. All who benefit from it, they don't benefit from it. What I would really like to see is some of them get locked up. But we know how this goes. I don't think it's even so easy. But what we need to do is ensure that they never come back in the corridors of power for a very long time. And it means that our government now have to really put things in place, serve the people, ensure that the people are benefiting from the coffers of this country. That is what has to happen. Make sure that the voiceless and the ones who cannot really help themselves get help, right? Social welfare and all these things. When you hear people talk about these things, when you go as a citizen needing help for whatever disability, whatever, it's like they had to drench your producer. They had to drench them down to nothing before they could give them a couple $100. That can't even really do anything. What is $3,000 in this country today? And they're not even getting that. All right? So the pension, you're hearing people talking about, our prime minister made promise about pension and all these things, and she not going to hold. You really think after all that this government meet, all the deficiencies, financially and otherwise, that in less than 3 months, they could do all the things that they promised? No, it's impossible. But guaranteed, we know within a year, by the end of a year, plenty of them would be smiling. But I don't think the PNM supporters, the PNM hierarchy is going to smile, because they wouldn't like that. Because clearly they know that the supporters won't be coming back their way. Once they're happy, you think they're going back and vote for PNM? Boy, we have to remind them of the disgust and the pain and the suffering that they went through under the PNM government for almost 10 years. So much people lose their business. So many people lose their homes, lose their dignity because of what the PNM government did in this country. And the ones who still supporting them, they know why. I could never see myself supporting the PNM government. Never. Not since I left them years ago, and now even worse. Because they're not about the people. We don't even want to talk about the black people. They're not about poor people. Worse yet, we as African people. They put no policies in place for us to get nothing. And what Dr. Rowley had said, he don't mind the rich getting richer to help the poor. Which poor they helping? When the rich get richer, they enslave the poor, because they have you like real slave under their wings, because you don't have a choice. When you don't have a choice, you have to take what you get, right? You have to take what you get. And this is exactly what had happened over the last few years. We had to take what we get for those of us who were not in a position to do better, right? And they tell you, you have to come here, you have to go there to have a CPAP job. You had to do it, whether you like it or not. You had to do it. So let us remember those days, those of you who were crying. I saw a big man cry, you know. I stand up and see big man cry, because they say the wickedness that is being done under the PNM government. The children suffering. They cannot provide for their children. But there are those who were okay. They were all right, and they still support the PNM government, and that is their rights. But for those of us who suffered, who lose a lot, who lost everything, for those who took their life, I don't know what to say. For those just up to recently, I've heard of persons who were working in ministries took their life not because of what happening with this new government, the torture that they went through under the PNM, they went into states of depression. And some of them probably know that the time coming for them to speak up, and they don't want to. So they prefer to be dead, because a lot happened, producer, under this PNM government. People had to sell their soul to be able to sustain themselves by having a job, as the case may be. A lot happened. So tonight, you know, I will continue to say, have patience, forget the naysayers, all those who bump in their gum. I love to say that, because that's all they're doing. They have no facts. When PNM was in power, they were saying the worst about the UNC. UNC is in power, they're still saying everything that our Prime Minister and the UNC does, they have a problem with it. Plenty of them. You see them on social media and you wonder where they're from, which land they came from, where did their neighbor string berry. It couldn't be here in Trinidad, the things that they are saying. But I want to say hats off to our Prime Minister and to all the government ministers. I know they are working. I am seeing the fruits of it. Things are happening. Things are happening. I know people, everybody is not going to be pleased all the time. Everybody is not going to be pleased some of the times. But at the end of the day, once you could get water in your tap, once you could not pay more money for electricity, once you don't have to pay property tax, I mean, it's going to come. Listen, all over the world, tax is being paid. We have to pay tax, producer. We have to be able to pay tax, but not what was happening. And what I want to see is a dissection of where these tax money go to help develop our country, not going in the pockets of the 1% and all the others. It mustn't go in nobody's pocket like that. When we pay taxes, it's to help develop our nation and to help the people who are underprivileged to be able to get some help. Yeah, so let's take a break.
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago, and across the globe. Welcome to Real Talk Corner. Hadassah, how are you?
Hi. I am fine, thank you. How are you, Esther?
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago, and across the globe. Welcome to Real Talk Corner. Hadassah, how are you?
Hi. I am fine, thank you. How are you, Esther?
Okay, welcome back, and you know the time is fast speeding away, but I just want to, as we come to the end, wrapping up, I want to send a message to parents, because in order to fight crime in this country, parents need to play a proactive part in their children's life. We cannot continue to leave our children to fend for themselves. We cannot leave them and go online. We cannot leave them and think that they're big. Some parents leave their 7, 8, 9-year-old to look after their siblings and to control the home. No. As a parent, you must control what your children do. You must control how you allow your children to live in your home. What you do is important. The standards you set is important. If you're not ready to be a parent, please don't go making any children. I know sex is enjoyable. Who doesn't like sex? Unless you're going through what they call it, menopause and andropause, and some people it's even greater. If you're not ready to be a parent, a mother or a father, then protect yourself when you're enjoying yourself. Please stop making children, bringing them here, and you cannot control them. You cannot provide for them. You cannot take them where they ought to be. If you want to have children, you need to plan. I know there's some instance where things do happen, but it cannot be constantly. You have one this year, you have one next year, and so on and so on. Then next thing you have 8 children and you stand up begging. You're out there begging. I see the Venezuelans, they do it as well. They're there with their children and they're begging, listen, if you cannot afford it, Don't make these children up. Please, for God's sake, if you cannot control your children and put some moral values in your space, in your ideal home and situation, then don't. Because this is what is causing the criminal activities to escalate, not only in Trinidad and Tobago, but all over the world. Because we're just making children, and at the age of 13 and 14, they're on their own. They're not being properly provided for. They can't go to a proper school. They don't have proper clothes to wear. And the vipers and them waiting to snatch up your children and have them trained to shoot, trained to steal, trained to kill. That is what is happening. So parents, those of you who are not parents yet, please mash your brakes. Enjoy yourself, but protect yourself. And those of you who are parents and their children are still young, please control your parents, your children. Control them in the sense of teach them moral values. Teach them when they get up in the morning to be thankful to God for life and for whatever little that there is provided for them, so that they can get more as they go along. Teach them to be contented. Teach them to leave other people's property alone. If it's not yours, leave it alone. You have to instill those values in your children now. And I'm talking about 2 years, 3 years. Well, don't wait till they reach 5 and 6. No. Before they start kindergarten, you got to teach your children to respect others, to respect others' property, and to be contented. Don't hang your hat where your hand cannot reach. You can teach them that from a tender age. So they know, I could buy a sweetie, I can't buy a lollipop. And because I can't buy a lollipop, I'm not going to thief it. I would just buy the sweetie and be contented with it. You have to teach your children. Those parents, you cannot afford the niceties. Learn to do something with your hand. Learn to sew. Learn to do something that is going to generate extra income so that your children could properly go to school. You don't have to go and beg on the street with your children. They're seeing themselves as beggars, seeing themselves as people passing and saying, oh, you get away from here. I've heard people, even with the Venezuelans, go back to Venezuela. These little children are hearing that. That is a state of rejection. They are accepting that. Some of them walk away. You see the little face, innocent face, how they look. And that is for all of us. Why go and make children when you cannot provide? You do not have a plan. You have to put a plan in place to know that you would be able to provide for your children. And nothing is cheap. So like I say, use your head. Protect yourself. You want to enjoy yourself? Because we can't stop you. We tell you don't have sex, you're still going and have it. Come on, go have your sex. Protect yourself. This says no sex before marriage, but listen, the amount of young people that I know, and all of them are sexually active. You could tell these young people today, no sex before marriage. There are a few who might listen. And for those who would listen, I applaud you highly. But the masses of them, they do it. So what we need to do is show them, tell them no sex before marriage, but at the same time, tell them how to protect themselves just in case they do. And yes, sometimes you get married and you have a family and things don't go well. Producer, and all you go on all your separate ways and all you have a child. And the child had to pay the price for all your foolishness, for big people foolishness. When that shouldn't be the case. You can't see eye to eye. Listen, have a conversation, be counseled, ensure that the child has time with both parents. Because I'm tired here of it. The father can't get to spend time with the child, or the mother can't get to spend time with the child. The father with another woman, and you want a next woman to be around your child. Come on, stop the foolishness. Come together, have a mutual conversation. Because if the man is with another woman, you can't stop that. And the child belongs to him as much as he or she belongs to you. So have conversation. People, learn to talk. Learn to sit down and have conversations. We don't have conversation. What we do is quarrel, cuss and fight. Have a mutual conversation. Okay, we cannot live together. We have to go our separate ways. As long as there's a child in the mix, you need to consider this is a child. And a child could be very manipulative. A child could be very sensitive. A child picks up certain things, a lot of them. They picks up negativity more than even the positive. We as parents have to be very careful. Enjoy yourself. But if you know you're not prepared to bring up a child with proper values, proper principles, oh gosh, forget that. And I'm not telling you to have an abortion, woman. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in it. I am not telling you to do that. Okay? But if that is what you feel you need to do, I am not God. I will not tell you what you have to do. But I'm saying plan. Don't just get in heat like those animals and jump. Plan your business. Plan how you go about your life. It is important. If we can do that, it will curb some of the situation in family life and also with criminality amongst our citizens. Because your child must never be in a position where he or she is wanting for food, wanting for clothes, and those hierarchic criminals will take them and influence them by telling them, if you come, you will get food. If you come, you will get this. We will do this. And then they what? Put a gun in their hand. You have to go and kill. It's only after they go in, they realize that they have to go and kill her. I am telling you. And I am not talking what I don't know, because I've been in the mix of it and I've seen it happen. They take these young fellas and they play nice, showing them love, give them a space, a home to be in. They get in food. And they come and say, Auntie, I getting food, and they're well loving. I ain't calling the organizations. They're loving and they treat them good. And then eventually they tell them, they bring them, they're going out at night. Tell them they're going out at night and put a gun in their hands. This is what you have to do. Innocent young children, that's how they get involved. And I know some of us in government, we don't understand these things. And we say, you know, them black children, them African children, this, that, the other. Poverty. Not all is going to be prey to that. But a lot of them, that is how they end up in those situations. Because they're longing for love. They're longing for food to eat. They want to dress nice like their other peers. And they're not able to. And these people grab them and show them that love that they want. Embrace them. Give them food. Give them a nice place, a good bed to sleep on. Some of our African children don't have a good bed to sleep on. And a lot of us don't know about it. They sleep on the ground with a piece of cloth on the ground if there's any. Or something roll up for the head as a pillow. If you're in the trenches, you would know that. But a lot of us, we don't know that. So we bump our gum and we talk about the African children. But there's so much that needs to be done for our African community. And one of it is to tell them, stop making children. Protect yourself. And for those men who they say they don't like to wear condom, well, you go somewhere else. If you don't want to wear condom, then you have to do what is right. And some of you don't know how to do it. And then you impregnate the woman, and she have to stand on her own to take care of her child because she ain't wise. So if you know you can't prepare for your children, do not go and have sex if you don't want to protect yourself. It's plain and simple. Because don't tell them you're going to pull out and you know very well you're not pulling out because your seed is not important to you. Some of you men just like to drop your seed all over the damn place. You're well fertile. So you want to fertile somebody's womb. But it's time for you all to stop that. You African men, stop it. Your seed is important. It is valuable. Don't go dropping it all over the place. I know that was instilled since in slavery days. When they take us, our men, and have them dropping the seed in every woman to make children so that they can get strong individuals to become more slave. But it's time for you all to stop it. It's time for you all to open up your ear and hear and eyes and see and understand. Your seed is valuable and it is important. Don't go dropping it all over the place. And women, have some value in you. You don't want to be carrying no man's seed who is not going to be there for you. Don't listen to only sweet talks. That don't go nowhere. That don't bring money. When you have this child in your womb because you are incubator, listen, you have a responsibility as well. When the child is born, you can't find the father. And some of you, because you were 2 and 3 men, you doesn't even know who is the father. Come on, where is our self-esteem as women? Let us do better. Let us do better in our community. My time is gone. I want to thank you all for viewing. Continue to share the live. Please subscribe to this channel. And let us continue, please, to be our brother's keeper, especially in the African community. I've said it, and you have heard it. Now it's up to you. Take heed. Take heed and live your life accordingly. Let your words be power and let your voice be purpose. Until next time, which is tomorrow night at 8 p.m., we'll meet again to discuss. Goodbye.